I feel like these days I'm just jumping from item to item and I'm doing some really random things. So today I come to you with a box full of wool, specifically Icelandic wool. Shout out to my friends in Iceland who, when they came to visit me last August, brought me a whole box of wool, and I have been staring at it for, well, half a year now, and I had no clue what to do with it. And then my beloved friend from Scotland, that currently lives in Scotland, sent me a picture of her vest. And everything clicked into place. Because the thing about me is I cannot knit. I did make an attempt at it, however, I found very quickly that it's very difficult for me to control the tension of my knitting, so when I knit, it comes out quite uneven. Yeah, long story short, I hate knitting. I hate it. It's difficult and just no. But I do like crochet. And the pattern that my friend sent me, that she used to make her vest, is a crochet pattern. Alleluia. So I finally have a reason to use my wool. Little wool show and tell. It is from this brand. Oh, good God. I'm not gonna pronounce it correctly. Lopi? Maybe? Lopi. Yeah, 200 meters of the red one, 200 meters of this really lovely, I'm not sure if the camera's picking it up, but it's like a blend of grey, navy blue, purple, yellow and green, and it comes out this really lovely looking bottle green. I also have this lovely grey, purple, I remember the colours, a nice plain like off-white, and this really adorable pastel blue, which is almost actually like a lilac, because if I look closely, it's also blended with pinks and I think white. The pattern that my friend sent to me requires, from what I've seen, 4-ish of these, like bundles. I don't wool. So I was thinking, like, what on earth can I do? Like, what combination can I do? I'll probably figure it out as we go. As you can tell by all the black I wear. Green is my favorite color, so maybe the green one. I really don't know. Okay, I am now off to buy a size 6 crochet hook because I do not have that. Let's go to the passementeria.
Green is my favorite color, so I of course picked the bottle green. And while I was buying my crochet hook in the passementeria, I noted that they had on sale a grey wool that had a very similar texture to the Lopi wool that I'm using from Iceland. So I purchased that as well, and that's where the inspiration struck to make something very fisherman-esque and make a grey and bottle green striped vest. In the spirit of what is Marcelina watching while crafting this time, I am still watching Word of Honor. This is not a pattern that I created myself. This is done by other creator and I do not want to infringe on her creativity and her creation. Therefore, I will not be repeating her instructions in my video, but I do encourage you to go to the video down below that I will link and you can see her original instructions. They are very easy to follow and easy to modify to your needs, just like her video states. This is the point in my video where you can start playing Rate the Outfit, because this is just me in the same spot on different days doing pretty much the same thing. Wool in Iceland has a very long history, with wool being traced back to the arrival of sheep, along with the Norse settlers back in the 9th century. Early settlers in Iceland relied on sheep, both for sustenance and clothing, as the sheep would provide A, the much needed wool, and B, the also much needed meat. By the 16th century, knitting became widespread as a practice. This is also the period where the first archaeological findings of knitted garments are from. Fact check me on this, but I believe that the oldest archaeological finding of knitting in Iceland comes from the 16th century, and it is in the form of mittens. Woolen goods became a staple for export during the long-standing Danish trade monopoly. Factories were established in the 19th century, especially to the ends of the century. This helped with the speeding up of the process of production for the wool and made the process cheaper. It also helped with the creation of the Lopi unspun strands, an innovation that was not utilized elsewhere at this point. This is the caveat where I point out that as I was struggling at the intro, my wool is in fact Lopi wool. This type of wool is excellent at retaining heat and repelling moisture, and as I quickly learned during my week in Iceland back in February, this is an essential development with the harsh cold and wet wind that had me scurrying into cafes every 2 hours on average, because I could really feel it in my bones. With the rise of the fishing industry, warm clothing for fishermen was urgently needed due to the weather conditions that I outlined above. For many years, fishermen's work clothing was in fact knitted and then waterproofed further. In the Maritime Museum in Reykjavik, I saw many examples of early fishermen's clothing, including woolen knitted garments as well as more stereotypical 19th century oilskin garments. The knitted sweater that is associated the most with Iceland today was popularized in the 20th century. I've seen the 1950s cited the most as the decade where this sweater appears and rapidly gains popularity. Okay, so now I've finished the front and the back pieces for my vest. All I really have to do now is stitch up the side seams, clean up the seams first and foremost, and then complete the ribbing at the arms and the neck. And then it should be done and ready for winter. I think the ribbing around the arm's eye and the collar were the most difficult parts of this, because the ribbing on a curve, just my mind could not compute the math very well. It weren't mathing. It was the most stressful part of this project, most likely.